Hello, hello, hello. We're back again. Look at that. That was just like a marathon. This seems like a marathon experience of interviews today. I thought we have to do this, and the more I do, the more I'm enjoying it. I hope you guys are also enjoying it at home or wherever you're watching from. So we are back. Hello. We are back, and I am back with one of your favorite DSA family. I know you've seen the title there. It is Mrs. Lola Sorunke. So guys, please do the honors and invite people. So invite people and also share, because we've got an HMT trainer now, a certified trainer, Mrs. Sorunke, that is here for this interview that will be sharing her experience with you all. Hello, Afolabi Oriyomi. Thank you so much for joining again. I appreciate that, guys. So please invite other people to join us, because people will probably be wondering, this is a fluke. Dr. Sundays are alerting me every 10, 15 minutes or 20 minutes. What's going on? Chioma, thank you for joining. Please share this. This is an interview with HMT certified trained trainees, should I say, or trained person, Charles Smith. Thank you. Welcome for joining us. So we've got Mrs. Sorunke now. We had earlier, if you haven't seen the video, you can go back and watch the video. We had Jefferson Uzoma, who was the first person to come up. Then we had Josephine, I can't remember her last name, so please accept my apology, but we just finished with her. Then we have Mrs. Sorunke now. I haven't been able to do the interview with everybody that attended as trainers, because some of them have left. They've gone over to they've gone to the various destinations. But the people that are still here, I'm just seizing this opportunity to share with you, so that they can share with you their experience of HMT trained the trainer, and now they're all certified trainer. Uchechi, good evening or good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. So now I'm going to turn the camera over so that you can see our newly trained HMT certified trainer is Mrs. Sorunke.
Hello everyone, good day. Good for all of you to come onto the platform again with this wonderful marathon that Mayowa has put together. She is trying to catch all of us so that we can all give, our feelings about the HMT. Well, let me tell you, the starting of it was coming to visit Pastor Sunday and the Embassy of Christ Church here in Ukraine. And along that journey, we found out that there was a training called HMT. And this is like something that if you come to Ukraine, you should not miss. And we decided that definitely we want to be involved in this. And what was the expectation? I really didn't understand, but I had a feeling that with the way that Pastor Sunday shares with us, his wisdom, his revelation, and everything from the Lord, HMT must be something that good too. And here we took off to HMT. I found out that HMT meant History Makers Training. Now, I couldn't put history makers together with Christianity. I was thinking, history makers? Okay, maybe some people in the Bible, maybe, Jesus is a history maker, you look for characters in the Bible, okay, history makers. But I never understood it. But the wonderful thing is, as soon as you step into the room that the training is done, if you're very observant and you look on the wall, there are some people, they are history makers up there on the wall. People like Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Henry Ford, Lincoln. They're up as pictures on the wall. And so you're wondering, you're going, okay, how did all these people, how does this relate to Christianity? So my very first one, I was very observant. But my first time coming The first person that we met with was a gentleman by the name of Pastor Derek Schneider. And he was the first person that we met. We came out of our guest room. He came out of his guest room, and we met and had breakfast together. And as soon as I saw him, there was just something about him. It's amazing. You know how we are to look like Christ? That was how the name Christianity came, because Christ's disciples and those that followed him, they looked so similar. Not like physical look, but there was that they had the same kind of spirit. And when I saw this gentleman, it was like a likeness of Pastor Sunday. And I said to myself, I need to ask this man some questions. And before I could open my mouth, he was already telling us that this was going to be a life-changing experience for us. And he gave me the understanding that the best thing to do is to just not guess what's going to happen, but just to move into the greatness of God. And he talked about how this experience of HMT, how it changed his life. So when I was done with him in the morning, in the evening, we had one of the pastors that was taking care of us. Her name is Pastor Natalie. And I just happened to mention to her, I said, oh, this is my first HMT. I have no idea what it's going to be. And she said, really? She says, I have a book. It's called HMT. You should read it. So I took the book and I quickly read through it as fast as I could. I really didn't still understand it. I took bits and pieces. Oh yes, we are kingdom people. We are to bring the kingdom here. I took little parts of it like that. And I was like, oh, okay, that's it. Well, when we started having our training, and Pastor Sunday started to talk about these history makers in science, in art, in music, I was pondering and wondering, okay, so how does this all relate to us Christians? All these people we've already, as our religious thoughts are, we've already condemned all these great scientists and poets and philosophers. We've condemned them to the thought that they didn't know God. And Pastor Sunday was carefully historic facts that actually most of the enlightening innovations that came for 70 years to the world that has made a difference. The automobile, that's what they used to call it back then when it was first made, the cars. The automobile, electricity, math equations, and so on and so forth. These people that had these great ideas, that were able to do them and make a difference, and a difference in the world that each one of us are enjoying. They're dead and gone now. That these people actually had an element of God, that they actually took time to observe the principles in which the earth runs, and also they were able to observe that they needed to know who they were and why they were here. And these people dedicated themselves to what they knew they were here for. In their head, they dedicated themselves to make life easier for mankind. How can we stop doing this heavy work over and over again? Are we going to forever use the horses as transportation? Could there be better ways? And they had visions and they had dreams and they drew it on paper and they talked about it among themselves. And the ideas came and the ideas worked. And life, industry, all kinds of things were affected for the good. And I wondered, really? So through this HMT, I realized that every Christian should be a history maker. Every Christian can be a history maker. That means that we can really get things from the Lord, ideas from the Lord, and change the world. Help people's lives be much better. Make people's life more exciting. That's part of our calling. In fact, it is one of the highest mission in life, that we take the time to know who God is, to know who we are, and to know our calling. But most importantly, there are some principles of life that is general to all of us. It doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't matter how tall you are, how beautiful you are. You know what? It doesn't even matter if you have 2 legs and you don't have 2 arms. Or you don't have two arms and you only have legs. Or you're even blind. That does not prevent you from being a history maker. So in the history makers class in general, what you learn is about not only who you are, but what you can be. That you can be the one that influences, that innovates, that creates things that will have an impact on manhood's life. But how do we do this? So HMT takes you from you knowing that you can be a history maker just like many of the history makers that you read about. But the question is, how is this done? So in the history makers classes, what you learn is that these things, they do not just come. They're not going to come by praying from morning to night. They're not going to come by just reading your Bible 24/7. No, it's the principles. When you learn the principles of life, the general scientific principles, the most simplest one is like gravity. You know, whether you believed God invented gravity or you don't believe it was invented or you believe it's invented, it is a principle that is not going anywhere. And if you want to test it out, some people did test it out and they're not here today. You know, and that's a principle. That's a principle for all of us. Whether you're of Muslim faith, Christian faith, Buddha, you go climb on a 12-story building and decide to just jump and expect to land on your behind and jump up and laugh and clap for yourself, it's not happening. So when we begin to discover, we begin to research basic principles in life that are just general, that is when we begin to know, wow, so this is a principle. So I must understand, if I do this, this will be the result. If I don't do this, this will be the result. And just living in that platform alone takes you through life in a different way. Your chances of just making accidental mistakes are reduced because you already have an understanding. No, not by accident and not by fun will I decide to jump off a 12-story building. I don't care how happy I am, I'm not doing that. Because why? You know it's not going to be a good experience if you live through it. So I began to notice that I wasn't paying attention to these general principles and laws of life. And so therefore I was losing all kinds of evidence and greatness of who God is. And yet I would look on the other side at people that I consider they don't know God and all this, and they had caught these principles of life and they were using it and they were functioning very well in their lives. And I would always wonder, it's almost like the scripture says, oh, why did the wicked prosper? Why do they always do good? You know, what's going on here? I'm the one that knows God. Well, they were more observant. They were more researching. They were more discovering about the world that they live in, about the wonders of the world that God has created. That was amazing to me. But what HMT actually does is it now gives you step by step, how you start recognizing and begin to create yourself to be a history maker. It now takes the principles and the laws of life and takes us back into Genesis, where these principles were birthed. Takes us back to the maker and creator of who we are. And one of the greatest things that HMT did for me, it gave a new meaning to, and God created man in his likeness and in his image. Wait a minute. God is mighty, most intelligent, most powerful, the creator of everything. What do you mean that we are made in your likeness and in your image? And remember, when he made us, when he made man, he breathed into us his air. That means that we have his DNA. We have great intelligence beyond, because we received it from God. We have all that we need to rule and reign in the earth. And a new confidence came to me that if that be the case, that I am in the likeness and I am in the image of God, I must find out what is his likeness, what is his image, and HMT focuses on that. What is God's like? What is he like? Let's talk about a few things. God is like the biggest, incomprehensible love you will ever experience. So therefore, if God has that kind of love, and we are made in his likeness and in his image, that is something that we want to discover and research. How can we love like our God? This love that has been planted within us, how do we grow it? In his image, in his likeness. That means the wonders that we see on the earth today. And look at it this way. Let me explain it to you a little bit more. This would be my second explanation of just a little bit of HMT. Now, when God created the earth, he said it was good. It was complete. And everything that God created was a prototype for it to be reproduced. And what did God do? He created man. And after he created man, he created male and he created female. He now set them off onto that land that he created and said, go and be fruitful and multiply. That didn't just mean reproduce yourself. That's not the only assignment. But the assignment is that these are the prototypes already done. I have put all the systems in place, gravity, light, all of these are put in place. The soil prepared to grow any kind of crop, animals, and so on. Now he put us in partnership with him to dominate the earth, to beautify it to our taste, because he has done all the work. All we need to do is discover new things each day. This flower is beautiful because it is yellow. But what if it were possible I could make this plant orange? How beautiful would it look? And God has given us the intelligence when we do the research and we discover and we start working with things, and then we begin to beautify the earth even more. That is the way that it was originally supposed to be. So this is just like a little dot of HMT. There is so much. Not to talk about this new HMT, the History Makers Trainers, Training the Trainers, is fantastic. Now we learn how to teach others the information that we have learned, to prepare them to be able to go out and influence their sphere of life and be innovators and creators in that aspect. So that's just a little bit of HMT.
Guys, what did I say before? That each person I interview is just a new gold mine. And this is what I've been experiencing since I started this about an hour ago. I've interviewed 3 people now, and each of them, as you would expect, but not to this extent, they had different accounts of their experience, their understanding, their growth, their development, what they're going to do with HMT, becoming a trainer now, what it means to them, their understanding. And here now with Mrs. Sorunke, actually somebody says here that Mrs. Sorunke is one of my favorite DSA family. And if you ask me, it's a guy that said that. So that's really interesting. Thank you. I think that was Bafo that said that. So as I was saying, guys, this is another new enlightenment for me, for Mrs. Sorunke. Her encounter and her experience during this HMT Train the Trainer is absolutely unique. And you've heard her first HMT was maybe about a year and a half ago. She came to visit Dr. Sunday with her husband, and she was informed, or she was told that it's a HMT, you can't come here without attending HMT. She met with Pastor Derek, who is one of the facilitators of Train the Trainer. They discussed it. They discussed HMT general, not the Train the Trainer. And from there, she decided, okay, I will do the HMT. I think, Mrs. Sorunke, this is probably your fourth. This HMT Train the Trainer is a 4th HMT. So this is in less than 2 years. Did you hear that? In less than 2 years. So she's been to 3 HMT, and now she's already certified HMT trainer. So her herself, she can go out and start training other people in HMT. The 3 that she's attended, she can now start training people. But Mrs. Sorunke's account is, so, as I said, is totally unique. Her journey is totally unique, and what she said about it, there was a lot of things about being a history maker. From my account initially, she said how even thinking about the sentence or the word history maker and connecting that and having the understanding from the pictures of the different people, the greats that she's seen, how they become greats, what they've done to become greats, what they have. And she even spoke about people that are not even believers, that are not Christians, and achieving great things, and how they've come about doing that. And their understanding from HMT is that there must be a process. They had a process that they followed. And then she also related that to Christ-like, being Christ-like, and had that having a new meaning for her. You know, this is somebody else's account of HMT Train the Trainer. I'm feeling so like, oh, right now, I should have really been in the here and now for each of these classes, because I was in so many things, as I said earlier, that I didn't attend all of the classes. But if you are a student or participant, you have to attend each classes. It's just because I'm here supporting, so that's why I didn't. So don't take my own not attending as, you know, you can. It's a very rigorous, intense training, and it's 5 days. You have to attend from morning. I think they started about 7:45 in the morning. They do the prayers, and then it goes on to very late at night, which includes the teaching by Dr. Sunday in the evening. So from 7:45 to about 11, I think, at the earliest, that they finish every day.
And
but
we do presentations every day.
Yes, and they do presentations every day. If you can hear us speaking, they do presentation. The homework that they have to do every night for the following day, and the presentations that they have to do. But I really love this account. I've loved everybody's account of their experience of HMT. And what I would like you guys to do is very short. I try to keep it as short as possible so that you can go back and listen to it time and time again. And I think this one is one to watch again and again and again, so that you can have your understanding. But I will watch everything again, because I think I limited everything to maximum 30 minutes. But initially it's planned for 15 minutes. And unfortunately, cannot keep it in 15 minutes because there's so much to tell you. You can see from the zeal of the people that I'm interviewing that they've gained so much and they're so willing to share a lot with you. So this is your opportunity as well to have an understanding, knowledge, information about what HMT the trainer is all about. But also you're getting 2 for 1 here, because you also get an understanding of what the initial HMT is about. We heard the first person that mentioned that actually Jefferson may not have mentioned exactly how many HMTs that he's attended, but this is his 3rd time here in Ukraine. So, and then also Josephine mentioned that in 1 year she had attended 2 HMT in 1 year, back to back. And then this is her 3rd visit here in Ukraine. She came to learn to become a trainer. And here's Mrs. Sorunke. This is her 4th HMT, and this one is a trainer. So she's attended 3 previous HMT in less than 2 years. So HMT in its own is very important. And secondly, trained a trainer. Now she's certified. She's ready to go. She's learned the principles she needs to gain her success, to gain understanding, to gain the kingdom, to become Christ-like in her own words. To become Christ-like. The word to become Christ-like has now given her a different meaning. She has full understanding what that is, and she understands even it doesn't matter who you are, either you're a Christian or not a Christian, whether you're Muslim, pagan, whatever you are. If you follow principles that are set, guided principles, you would attain success in any area that you wish to attain the success. And that's what she's doing now. She's excited, she's happy, and she's gained all the knowledge that she needs, and she's going to improve on what she's gained. So here is her account. This is Mrs. Sorunke that just gave you her trainer experience. So guys, I would like you, if you would join us for the next person. We're coming back very shortly. Thank you so much, Mrs. Sorunke. I appreciate you and your time and your lovely account. I'll surely watch it again. Thank you very much. So see you guys. We'll be back shortly. Thanks.